namaste. A very warm welcome to Bio Classes. We are in the discussion with principles and process of biotechnology. So there already we have completed how to screen the recombinants from non-recombinants. I think a little bit complicated step that is. So let us see once again the step by step, the same process. So what we observed in the previous class, screening or selection. Screening or selection of recombinants from non-recombinants. We observed that concept. What actually recombinant meaning is? The recombinant means it is a cell which is having a recombinant DNA, or it is a cell which is having recombined DNA. So that is a recombinant. So usually we considered a bacterial cell. In one bacterial cell we are going to introduce rDNA. What actually that rDNA is? rDNA means particularly we are considering one plasmid. We are going to cut the plasmid at particular place, and in that gap we are adding our desired gene. Then it becomes rDNA. That rDNA introduced into one host cell, in one suitable host cell. Why? In order to double our DNA. So after entering the host cell, then host cell become a recombinant. Host cell become recombinant. And that recombinant DNA may be entering in host cell or may not be entering. If entered means the cell becomes a recombinant. If not entered means then that cell we will call it as a non-recombinant. That means when we are doing this process, we can't say all the cells are receiving rDNA. All the cells cannot receive rDNA. Some of the cells will receive rDNA and becomes recombinant. Some of the cells do not receive rDNA and becomes non-recombinant. Now, thing is, recombinants and non-recombinants are growing together. They are present in the same medium. But our aim, we have to grow only recombinants. Why? Because we don't want non-recombinants. So hence we have to avoid non-recombinants and we have to select only recombinant cells. So that selection process we will call it as screening of recombinants, right? To screen or to select only recombinants, what we did there? When we are adding our desired gene into that cloning vector, what is the cloning vector? Plasmid here. When we were adding into the cloning vector, particularly we are going to cut the plasmid at antibiotic resistant gene. So that antibiotic resistant gene we will call it as selectable marker. That means we are cutting the selectable marker and we are adding our desired gene. For cutting we are using restriction endonuclease enzyme. For joining we are using DNA ligase enzyme. With the help of those two enzymes we constructed one rDNA. And to select the cells which are having only rDNA, so we made antibiotic screening method. That means one side we took ampicillin antibiotic, another side we took tetracycline antibiotic. We grow the cells which are growing in ampicillin medium only, those cells are having tetracycline resistant gene inactive. Why? Because we have cut the tetracycline resistant gene and we have added our desired gene, insertional inactivation. Okay, we did that process. But thing is, it is a little bit complicated process. That means separation of recombinants and non-recombinant cells by using this method, by using this kind of antibiotic resistant gene as a selectable marker, it is a little bit complicated process. So in order to easier this process, we are having some other selectable markers. And those selectable markers are not antibiotic resistant genes. Those are normal metabolic genes but producing colors. That means depending on the colors we can separate a recombinant cells and non-recombinant cells. So let us see how that process is actually operating. Screening of recombinants. Screening of recombinants by using color difference. Color difference in the colonies. Okay, let us see that one. How actually that process is operating. So, for example, as usual, let me consider one bacterial cell. Okay, let me consider E. coli cell. Now, I have to introduce my desired gene, our desired gene, into this cell. When this desired gene is entered into this cell, so when the cell is going to divide, at the same time, our desired gene number also multiplying. So that is the thing here. So because of that reason, now let me consider this is the DNA content, total nuclear content of this bacterial cell, and here this bacterial cell DNA, it is having one special gene. Let me consider that gene is LAC-Z gene. Which gene? LAC-Z gene. So here LAC stands for lactose. That means already you know in the lactoferrin concept ZYA, 3 types of structural genes. So here LAC-Z gene, it produces one special enzyme. That enzyme name is a beta-galactosidase enzyme. That means it is a beta-galactosidase enzyme producing a gene. That gene is present here, right? Now, so what is the work of this gene? So it helps or it codes for production of beta-galactosidase enzyme. So this enzyme can be produced from this gene. When this gene enzyme produced, this enzyme helps in the metabolism of lactose. When the lactose is broken down, it produces the glucose and galactose. Okay, that is the thing. So what is the work of this enzyme? It helps in the breaking of lactose. But thing is, when the lactose is mixed with one chromogenic substance, when lactose is mixed with one chromogenic substance, so chromogenic substance, which substance? Chromogenic substance. That means chromo stands for color. Color producing substance. Iga one vichara anta ittkolli. Right now I am doing that process in one plate, petri plate. In that petri plate I have taken a lactose and I have introduced these bacteria in that medium. By using the lactose, bacterial cell will start to grow and divide. So that is the thing. ಆ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೋಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸೆಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಎಂಜೈಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. But when we will mix a lactose with one chromogenic substance, say that chromogenic substance is GAL-X. It is a chemical name of that color substance. Chromogenic substance means this substance producing the color after metabolism. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೋಸ್ ಮೆಟಾಬಾಲಿಸಮ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಲರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ, GAL-X substance, and the color of that substance is blue color. Which color we are going to get? Blue color. Who will produce that blue color? This chromogenic substance. After what? After the metabolism of lactose. Who will metabolize lactose? This enzyme, beta-galactosidase. Who will produce this enzyme? Who else in the coding of this enzyme? That is LAC-Z gene. That LAC-Z gene is normally present in the bacterial cell. Now, let me mark. This much of portion is, this is the LAC-Z gene. Now I am taking this LAC-Z gene outside. Right? This is the LAC-Z gene. Okay? LAC-Z gene. So gene or DNA piece, whatever it is, it will be having the base pairs, sequence of base pairs. This gene I will elaborate madidini. Just now the LAC-Z gene is present. Now what I will do? I am going to cut this gene. So I will cut this gene with the help of restriction endonuclease enzyme, right? Now in this gap I am going to add rDNA. That means our desired gene I am going to insert. With the help of restriction endonuclease enzyme, I will cut the gene. Which gene? LAC-Z gene. In that gap, I am going to add our DNA. Our DNA I am going to introduce. Now, whether this lac agent gene is as it is or changing, it is a change. Why? Because we have cut and introduced another extra piece. That means the sequence of this gene is changed. When the sequence is changed, at that time this gene becomes inactive. This gene is inactive. Which gene? Lac agent gene. Why it is inactivated? Because of insertion, because of addition, because of insertion of our DNA. And the whole process we will call it as, I'll write here, insertional inactivation. So this is insertional inactivation. Now tell me. Now I have added this rDNA and this gene is present here. Whether this bacteria produces this enzyme? No, it cannot produce. Why? Because its gene is disturbed. Why? Because this gene is insertionally inactivated. That means this gene cannot code for beta galactosidase enzyme. If there is no production of beta galactosidase enzyme means then there is no metabolism of lactose, there is no breaking of lactose. If there is no breaking of lactose, if there is no metabolism of lactose, then there is no production of blue color colonies in the presence of this chromogenic substance. At that time, so white color colonies get produced. So white color colony and these are blue color colonies. Are you getting? Say for example, if this is the Petri plate means, that means we will grow the bacteria on a plate. We will call that a plate as Petri plate. That is a special plate used in the laboratory. When the bacteria will grow, we will see the bacterial. One thing, we can't see the bacteria from a naked eye. Why? Because the bacteria is very small. But when many bacteria will grow together, they form a colony, bacterial colony. That colony appears as a small dot. We can see that dot. That means bacteria appearing in the form of dots. Like this. So we will call them as a bacterial colonies. Now here some of the bacterial colonies will be blue. Some of the bacterial colonies are blue. Some of the bacterial colonies are white. That means same bacterial cell producing two color colonies. White color colony, blue color colony. Blue color colony means these cells we will refer them as non-recombinants. So non-recombinants. If white color colony produce, white color colony ಯಾಕೆ ಬಂತು? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಜೆನಿಕ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಲೂ ಕಲರ್ ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ? ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೋಸ್ ಮೆಟಬಾಲಿಸಮ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ? ಈ ಎಂಜೈಮ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ? ಆ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಜೀನು ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೋಜೆಡ್ ಜೀನು ಇನ್ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಯಾಕೆ ಇನ್ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಡುವೆ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ದೀವಿ. That means if white color colonies are produced means these are recombinant colonies. Yes. So now we will take the white color colonies. We will take out white color colonies. So for example, this is one white, this is one white color colony. So let us consider these four are white color colonies means these four colonies are having recombinant cells. Now we can easily separate the recombinant cells from non-recombinant cells. So this is one screening method on the basis of color difference. Color difference in the colonies. That means compared to that screening step, so it is only easier step here, right? So what we observed till now, how to take our desired gene outside, how to insert in the cloning vector to produce rDNA, and how to add this after adding rDNA into a host cell, how to separate that host cell, how to separate that recombinant. We observed that one. Right? Which cloning vector we used? The cloning vector we used is a PBR322. That is a plasmid. But PBR 322 cloning vector is used when the host cell is bacteria. When the host cell is bacteria. But if the host cell is animal cell, if the host cell is plant cell, then cloning vectors are different. Are you getting? ನಾನು PBR 322 ಅಂತ ಕ್ಲೋನಿಂಗ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಅದನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಒಂದೇಳೆ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನಾವು RDN ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಯಾವ ಸೆಲ್ ಆ ಸೆಲ್. ಒಂದೇಳೆ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಎನಿಮಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲೋನಿಂಗ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಕೂಡ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So that means let us consider the cloning vectors for plant and animal cells. Cloning vectors for plant and animal cells. Okay. Now, let me start from point. Listen. Let us start from the plant. Now, I need to get one product from the plant. So, for example, let us imagine the same condition. Insulin. We will produce the insulin by using a bacteria. By taking our insulin gene outside, adding that insulin gene in bacteria, and bacteria start producing insulin. We will take that insulin. Suppose if you want to produce the insulin by using plant cell, yes, we may do that one, but it's a suitable cloning vector should be there. So here, let us consider dipod plant. Which plant? Dipod plant. Usually, in most of the agricultural field, that is in the field or in general areas, dipod plants most of the times their roots, dipod plants roots, those roots will be affected by a special kind of bacteria present in the soil. In the soil, some bacteria are present, pathogenic bacteria. They will affect to the dipod plant. And one of such, so many bacteria are present. Let me consider one bacteria, that is Agrobacterium tumefacium. Yes, which bacteria? Agrobacterium tumefacium. This is one soil bacteria, and this is a rod-shaped bacteria normally present in the soil, and that bacteria will affect to the dipod plant through the roots, right? And when this bacteria will affect this dipod plant, then on the dipod plant, say for example, if this is the stem of the dipod plant means, so in the stem at some places we can see this kind of formations on the stem. On the stem we can observe this kind of deformated structures, and these deformated structures we will refer them as tumors. What we call them as tumors, just like cancer tumors. This is one cancer-like condition. Just when our body will be affected by the cancers, we will have the tumors in our body. In the same way, when that bacteria enters the dipod plant, so it helps in the excessive growth of the cells, multiplication of the cells, and those cells all together they are going to form a tumor, mass of the cells, tumor. And this formation of tumor we will call it as crown gall disease. What we call it as crown gall disease. So this kind of tumors will be formed. Why such kind of thing is happening is, Say for example, if we consider this Agrobacterium trophacean bacteria, normally it is having inside its own DNA, then inside it is having its own plasmid. One special plasmid is present in that bacteria. That plasmid is Ti plasmid. Which plasmid? Ti plasmid. T means tumor, I means inducing. Tumor inducing plasmid. This is the natural plasmid already present in the bacteria. Tumor inducing plasmid. And let me consider this tumor inducing plasmid. In this tumor inducing plasmid, special one DNA part is present, and this DNA is tDNA. What is the plasmid actually? Ti plasmid. I have taken the Ti plasmid outside. In the Ti plasmid, a special part is there, special DNA is there. That DNA name is tDNA. T means transfer DNA. Which DNA? Transfer DNA. That means when this bacteria will enter inside the dicot plant cells, inside the dicot plant cells already DNA is present. Now this Ti plasmid having a transfer DNA, this transfer DNA is transferred to the DNA of plant cell. Idistu DNA piece, the transfer DNA piece cut agi plant the DNA jodi mix up agutte. When this much of DNA is mixed with the plant DNA, then plant DNA cells start multiplying more and producing more number of cells. Then a tumor is formed. Along with that one, for this growth of this bacteria, whatever proteins are required, those proteins are produced with the help of this tDNA. Now this is the clue for us. Right. Now let me consider the same one. This is which DNA plasmid? Ti plasmid. In the Ti plasmid, this much of portion is transfer DNA. That is, this much of DNA is transferring to the plant cell, mixing with the plant DNA. Now, to this transfer DNA, I am cutting this transfer DNA, right? I am cutting this transfer DNA. Now, I am going to add our desired gene. What I am adding here? Our desired gene. Now it becomes Ti plasmid plus our DNA. That means our gene. Both are mixed here. Now we will consider as a rDNA. Right? Now this rDNA as usual present in the Agrobacterium trophacean. It is present in the Agrobacterium trophacean that will infect to the dicot plant. But tDNA now it is not a dangerous. Why? Because in the tDNA dangerous genes we have removed and our genes we have added. That means their crown gall is not formed, but actually our interested products are produced from the plant body. That means tDNA it is helping in transferring of our desired gene into the plant cell, not the bacterial cell, into the plant cell. Which plasmid? Ti plasmid. Who is having the Ti plasmid? Agrobacterium trophacean. That means Agrobacterium trophacean it is a natural vector. What it is? Natural vector. For what kind of host cells? For the plant cells. Right? I mean, wait. Okay, you can say it is for the plant cell. What about in case of animal cell? So let me consider in the animal cell. If the host cell is animal cell, what is that case? One thing, macrophage or helper cell, T helper cell. To the macrophage or T helper cell, HIV virus will infect. When HIV virus will infect, whole HIV virus will not enter inside. Only its genetic material will enter inside. Right? Only the genetic material will enter inside. That genetic material, that is RNA, converted into DNA. That DNA mixes with host cell DNA. That is the life cycle of retrovirus. Already we have observed in case of human health and disease chapter. Keep that thing in your mind. Keep that concept in your mind. The same process can be used in case of animal cell. Say for example, now let me consider animal cell. This is the host. This animal cell is usually affected by retrovirus. Which viruses? Retrovirus. So retroviruses means these are the viruses which are having RNA as a genetic material. Special retroviruses. And that RNA gets converted into DNA when it enters into animal cell. That RNA converts into DNA with the help of reverse transcriptase enzyme. Right? Now imagine. This is the animal cell. Right? And this is the nucleus and this is the DNA content. And imagine the virus. Which virus? Retrovirus. Retrovirus, it is inside having the RNA. When this virus will attack to the animal cell, whole virus cannot enter inside. That means outer protein coat will be remained outside. Only the RNA enters inside. And that RNA is already having reverse transcriptase enzyme. With the help of reverse transcriptase enzyme, that RNA converted into DNA. RNA converted to DNA. This DNA integrate with the host DNA. Then after integration, host DNA start producing the proteins. Those proteins are useful for formation of many viruses in the host cell. Then many viruses are formed. Then the cell is going to break. Host cell is going to break. Viruses will come outside. One virus will attack one host cell again. This is the normal procedure. ಈಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು? ಇಲ್ಲೇನು RNA DNA ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸಪೋಸ್ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಸೈರ್ಡ್ ಜೀನ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Our desired gene or our piece of DNA. When we will insert our piece of DNA here, that is single strand of that gene, then next it is converted into double stranded DNA, then our gene becomes double stranded, that DNA mixes with host DNA, then our DNA mixes with host DNA. So for example, this is RNA, right? I am cutting this RNA with the help of particular endonuclease enzyme. In that gap I am adding a single strand of our DNA. Now this is just like recombinant, not DNA, just like RNA. Now this enters, now it is present in the virus, then enters to the host cell, then the single stranded becomes double stranded DNA mixes with host DNA, then start producing proteins. Which proteins? Not the viral proteins, our gene proteins. What are produced here? Our gene proteins get produced. That means our aim is fulfilled. Now, this retrovirus is also considered to be a natural vector. So this is also natural vector and this is also natural vector. But thing is, here natural vector is bacteria and inside plasmid is present. Here the natural vector is virus, not the bacteria, and here plasmid is not used. So in case of animal cells we can use them. But thing is, in both the cases, this is also pathogen to the plant. This is also pathogen to animal cell. Both are dangerous. That is, from both the vectors, from both the DNAs, we have to cut and remove the dangerous part. And in that gap, we have to add our DNA. So that is, we have to disarm them. Disarm the pathogen. What we will call it as disarming the pathogen. Disarming the pathogen ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನಾನು ರೆಟ್ರೋವೈರಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇದ್ರ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ರೆಟ್ರೋವೈರಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ನನ್ನ DNA ನನ್ನ ಜೀನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸೇರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ರೆಟ್ರೋವೈರಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಡೇಂಜರಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದರ DNA ಅದರ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಆ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ DNA ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಏನಂತ ಡಿಸ್ಆರ್ಮ್. ಡಿಸ್ಆರ್ಮ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ This kind of retrovirus not a pathogen. ಈ ತರದ retrovirus pathogen ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. So that helps in production of our desired gene product. So one is in case of plant, one is in case of animals. So both are considered to be the cloning vectors for plant and animals. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ examination major ಆಗಿ ಕೇಳೋರು cloning vector in case of bacteria. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು desired gene product ಅನ್ನು ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ most of the times host cell ಅನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So host cells majorly we will consider bacteria. But in few cases we will consider host cell as plant cell or animal cell. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋ process important ಅಂತ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಈ cloning vectors ಅನ್ನು ತಲೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Right? Yes. So in the next class, let us see the further very interesting concept of this chapter. Yes. Thank you.